Hey folks, welcome back to GalCiv4 Supernova. I'm playing as the Luxar. Okay, let's see what's going on in this episode. Okay, we've got an event. The Enigma of Hyperspace. Our flagship has detected an ancient cargo container drifting aimlessly in the void. This appears to be a relic from the Precursor Wars. Inside, we find a fully intact Arnorian drive system, a ship component that is remarkably small for its size. It could be attached to a ship to increase its speed. Alternatively, we could harvest a significant quantity of thulium from it or sell it to the highest bidder. What are your orders? Let's think about this. Okay, so this is a good, having an extra drive is pretty good. The thing is about ship engines, I haven't found a whole lot of use for them in the early game. The reason being is because they do take up space, and mass is at a premium at the start of the game, okay? But this is likely a good thing to be adding. This is something you can add to your, to one of your ships. However, we could sell it and we could get money, and I think money might be a bit more important at this point in the game. So I'm actually going to go for the money, because we are pretty low. Okay, let's have a look at our approval. Yeah, approval's pretty low, even on normal. Look. Okay. Yeah, the approval penalty we're taking for this without slumber is pretty bad. If we were to go down to low, yeah, we're going to be losing money doing that. We don't want to do that. Let's have a chat with some of our neighbours. See what we can figure out. We got the Drengen here. We've got the Mimot Brotherhood. We've got the Kryn, and we've got the Taurians. Now, the Taurians are Taurians are xenophobic, okay? So they don't trust us, and they're quite, yeah, they're one of those. This is what I was talking about. Look, they've got unwavering. Colonies are much harder to culture flip and access to the unbroken spirit technologies. Okay, and they're also fertile. So these guys grow really quick. I think that, look, we've got a huge amount of this is our sector ownership score compared to them. So we can't. That says 0. That's interesting. I wonder if that is. If that's being hidden from us for some reason. No, that's their sector ownership score. Yeah, that will be hidden from us, I think. So yeah, they're way ahead of us in technology. These are a real threat to us, I think. The Taurians. We probably want to try and keep them on side until we've developed our nations. What we could do is, right, I think in the last episode I actually started creating a freighter. No, I didn't, but there we go. We are going to do that. Let's get some freighters out. These are building a constructor. This one's building a freighter. I think what we're going to do, we'll trade with them. Now, normally you want to try and trade as far as possible because you get a big bonus, or you get a bonus for distance. Okay, so the further you go, the more money you make from your trade routes. Also, the older your trade routes, the better. So it's, again, superb game design. It encourages you to foster relationships with civilizations and not just backstab them, because let's say that it also means that you have to future plan, right? So for example, we know for a fact that the Mimot spread like wildfire, right? They grow really quickly. They've got loads of ships. They are a real threat. Now at the same time, they're also peaceful. So we could try to here's a potential plan, just as an idea to sketch out, just to kind of illustrate what I'm talking about, right? We might say, we know the Taurians are difficult to deal with. They're xenophobic. They are likely to go to war with us, I think, unless they're attacked by the Drengen or something, or the Kryn, who are also quite warlike, or can be. So we could think, okay, well, we're going to risk the Mimot actually being, like spreading out really fast. We're going to use these guys as a buffer. And we're going to trade with them, okay? We'll get a decent trading bonus. Now, we'll get our trade ships over before any war with the Taurians start. And yeah, we'll start getting some trade income. Trade is really lucrative in this game, especially if you start to move up the tech in the tech tree. I forget which one trade is. I think it's in governance. Yeah, so there we go. So we go trade networks, interstellar trade, blah 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 blah, up through these ones. And each one of these gives you more trade licenses, right? And I think some of them, you'll start getting things like the trade station, central bank. All this stuff will just kind of increase the amount of money you're going to be making from trade. There are things that you can add to your planets. So these ones here, the orbital improvements. Where are we? The orbital market. I think there's one that actually increases trade routes. I might be wrong there. I think I am wrong, yeah. But there are certainly things that you can build on planet that increase the value of trade routes, right? And trade can become incredibly powerful. So anyway, just to finish off what I'm saying, it's you want to be kind of like looking at the global situation in the sector that you're in and figuring out who to be friends with, because it's not, you can play GalCiv as just as a map painting game, and it works like that, absolutely, and there are factions that are designed to do that, but there's more to it than this, and there's a lot of fun to be had in playing geopolitics. And I say geopolitics, that's not the right, galactic politics, right? You want to be playing galactic politics game. There's so many. What I'm gonna try and do in this game is show that off, because I think it's one of GalCiv's standout features. It's way better than any other Space 4X, where the diplomacy is actually really integral to the way that the game plays, and it drastically changes how the game plays as well. Anyway, let's get back on with the game. All right. What do we got here? Osiris 1. Oh, okay, there's the Kryn. Where's our other probe? It must be, yeah, there we go. There's that probe, look. I'm gonna get that one going out this way. I think we'll bring this probe. I want to see what's here. I'm also keen to kind of see who else is in the sector as well, to be honest with you, but yeah, you've got to make choices, haven't you, when you've got limited resources. What do we got here? This constructor is going to take 5 turns to come out. Yeah, I don't want to rush build it. It's too expensive. Okay, the Taurians. They're going to switch. They want to... Well, let's read it. We're just bursting with anticipation. Or it's the pressure from being this deep. No, it's definitely anticipation. We are considering this trade. Here's what we have in mind. Okay, so they want Planetology Universal Translator for space elevators and artificial gravity. This looks like a fair trade to me. Planetology, I forget that one now, might be a little bit more. But yeah, look, this looks like a fair trade. We might be able to persuade them. What I will say is this. You can only persuade every 12 turns, right? So while you might be able to get a few extra credits or something for something, you might suddenly find, oh, hang on a minute, I need something desperately off them. 6 turns down the line, and you're able to trade with them again, and then you can't do it because you can't persuade them. So let's see what else we've got. What else have they got? Oh, yeah, they're doing really, really well. Look, now we want this one. Starbase modules might be good. See if we can trade them. No, they don't want to do that. Yeah, look, we've messed up now, because what's happened is they were giving us a good offer at the start, and we've tried to barter with them, and what happens is they're like, well, look, we gave you a good offer, and this is, by the way, this is not a bug, this is a game feature, but they will make you an offer that is a nice offer, and if you start trying to barter with them, sometimes they're like, nah, I was giving you a good offer already. So yeah, we've lost the opportunity to get this great offer now. What we're gonna have to, we'd have to actually pay credits in order to get that. We can probably trade them a few bits and pieces. Here we go. Let's give them one of these Arnos spices. So that's kind of, and we might be able to get something in return back for them. So this is 50 credits. We'll get 50 credits out of this because I think it's for 50 months. I think it's for 50 months. It used to be for 50. Yeah, for 50 turns. That's correct. Okay. There we go. Let's just go for that. I'm not going to persuade them this time. So bear that in mind, guys. Sometimes they'll come to you with an offer, and it's kind of like, look, our first offer on, or, if you renegotiate it, we're not going to give you such a good deal. Very, very interesting. Again, I like that because it means that, one, you're not always tempted to try to micromanage every little trade deal that you get, because if you start doing that, then, well, there's a chance that they might say, well, actually, we gave you a better offer. Why are you trying to negotiate it? It would be nice, actually, if that was communicated in a message. Okay, subspace scanning. This is going to give us ship range +2 and sensor range +2, amongst other things, and also reveal the subspace streams. What do we want next? This is going to give us +4, like molecular fabrication. I don't remember this one. That might be good for us to get. Because, yeah, it's only 3 turns, look. And that's going to give us a +5 manufacturing bonus. I think we're going to need that to keep up. Use telepathy. This is an executive order here called Serenity. Use telepathy to affect an entire colony. Choose to boost growth, improve approval, or influence in tourism. Ah, this is interesting. However, we've got a draft colonist that's coming up soon. Now, in order to get both of those, we'd need 63, and we're 5 turns away from that. Okay, we can do this. So let's get Serenity up. And let's think about this. Okay. Might want to put it on. Approval's quite low there. Let's get it on here and boost approval. Yeah, so covert message is sent to all telepaths in the Empire. They are to begin an exhausting and costly ritual to amplify their power. As they concentrate, their minds begin to merge, forming a collective consciousness that reaches out across the vast expanse of space. They search for any sentient beings on Honda 2 and begin to probe their minds. Their psychic connection remains steadfast, enabling them to subtly implant thoughts and manipulate their targets without detection, at least for the present. What should we make the citizens of Honda 2 believe? Okay, so yeah, we can get the plus 50% growth for 10 turns, that's good. We can get the 50% approval for 10 turns, or we can get influence and tourism. So make them believe that every meal is the best they ever had. Let's get the approval bonus, I think that's going to help. That's better, look. Okay, so that's 96 approval. That's going to give them a decent bonus. You look, you know, the lower your approval, the more you're kind of cutting the amount of output that you're getting, a planetary output in each of these fields. I want to get a shipyard up here, I think. Okay, next turn. There's a Drengin. There's Drengi itself, or Drengi. It's funny. One of the videos I did for Stardock, I recorded like the lore of GalCiv, and the Drengin feature in them quite heavily, so they're in basically every chapter. And I was pronouncing it wrong. And when I found out, they were really cool about it. They're like, "Oh, yeah, don't worry too much, it's fine." But I thought that I was going to have to re-record and like re-edit the whole video. My heart sank. But Brad Wardell's a cool guy, man. He was like, "Nah, don't worry about it, it's fine." That's really lucky. Okay, you have enough culture points to add to a galaxy. Right, let's go. Cultural. Yeah, where do we go here? Right. So these become more expensive each turn. Okay, but each time you get them, they become more expensive. So you've got to really pick what you want. Citizen expectations reduced by 50%, and citizens with a collectivist train gain 10% approval. Do we have the collectivist trait on any of our citizens? Got progressive, traditionalist and pacifist, nihilist. Nope. He's a pacifist. Oh, he's a criminal, look. Yeah, this guy increases crime. He's also telepathic, though. What does the telepathic do? They have increased stats and their presence reduces crime. Okay, so this is interesting. Look, yeah, so the criminal trait +3 crime, but then we loop -1 because of the telepathic. That's pretty cool. Also, we should train these guys for something. Yeah, let's put them on working. Oh wow, that's a decent bonus, look, to manufacturing. Okay, he's not very happy though. Why are you unhappy? Yeah, they're being artificially boosted by this, by that control thing that we did, or the executive order. Alrighty, yeah, culture. Let me think. Approval based on compassion, +1 diplomacy, +3 constructor ships join you. This is a good one to get. Eureka, approval boost after discovering new technology, and +30 research. Okay, this is a good one to get too. I like progressivism actually. Yeah, you get research for all sorts of stuff essentially. Breakthrough tech distract increases to 60%. Yeah, you want to go high in this one if you can. Collective is good. Resistance is decent, but we don't need that yet. We're not at war. +1 fertility at all worlds would be really good actually. That's logistics bonus is nice. Mass mobilization, executive order. Minor worlds and no influence. We don't have many of those. Plus 5% to population happiness for every connected system. Plus influence growth. That's a really good one. Very, very strong effect. Okay. I don't think we should go into individualism. I feel like it's counter to collectivism. Same with totalitarianism. Plus 10% approval boost on all worlds. Plus 3 free colony ships. Ah, yeah, that's really good. All colonies generate influence. Core worlds start with plus 100 influence. Worlds with only... sorry, let me just read that again. An additional 5 influence per turn. Yeah, so that's actually really, really good. That's very, very strong too. This could be a good one to go for. We do have a little bit of a... we've got a 2% ideology discount on egalitarianism as well. Let's get that one. The colony ships are just too good to pass over, I think. We're going to have to think about where we're going to colonize. Let's just have a look at the best planets that we've got. Okay, we've got that one there. Now we could try and colonize that. The only problem is that we're going to be I want to say Dominion push because that's how it works in Dominions. We're going to be pushed by culture, you know, the influence here by both the Mimot and the Taurians. That's also going to make the Mimot annoyed with us, right? If they do push up against us and their borders go. If that was our plan, to kind of befriend them. I think what we could do with this game, by the way, is this is quite an interesting situation. The Drengin and the Taurians absolutely hate each other. So, for those of you who don't know the game lore, right at the start of the Galactic Civilizations, before the very first game, the Drengin they towed a Stargate over to the Taurians area, right, into their around their system, but they didn't have the hyperdrive at that time. So it took something, what was it, 10,000 years or 30,000 years, some incredible amount of time. The Drengin just waited generation after generation for this automated ship to drop this Stargate, and then they activated their Stargate, and then they moved through, and then they invaded, and the Taurians weren't ready for it, right? And these guys are kind of peaceful, or they were, and so the Drengin just enslaved them and used them for food and for slaves, and they treated them horribly. And eventually, because the Drengin were involved in a big war with someone, I'm trying to remember who it was now. But anyway, the Taurians fought them off over generations, like, years and years and years. They eventually managed to fight a guerrilla war, and it became too expensive for the Drengin to keep fighting. So they managed to beat them back and take control of their own system. But they were horribly scarred from the experience. So the Taurians hate the Drengin, right? And the Drengin are desperate to get control of the Taurians again because they find them. They like the taste of them. They like eating them. So they get that these guys will never be friends. Taurians, if they take a Drengin, planet, they will have massive penalties for, well, not massive, but they get approval penalties if they have to share planets with the Drengin. So these guys will never, they're very, very unlikely to be friends. I don't know if that's hard-coded into the game. I think maybe not, but I think that they definitely will have penalties. I don't know if the AI, there's a thing that says that they'll never be friends, but it's unlikely they will, okay? So, we can leverage this. It's likely these guys will go to war, I think. We've got the Kryn here as well. I think the Drengin are right in the centre. I think they're in a bit of a precarious position in this game, actually. So look, this is where the Kryn is, I believe. Oh, they've got an Ascension Crystal there, look. It's interesting. Let's just have a look at the balance of power. Okay, so we're actually winning, apparently. At least so what we can see. You might find that when we unveil the Kryn, they're actually stronger. Yeah, it's interesting, this is. So the Drengin in the centre. I think what we could do is we could support these guys, providing they don't push on us too hard, and support them fighting the Drengin, because the Drengin are a problem. they are a problem, and if you allow them to win wars, I think they could be quite dangerous to deal with in the late game. So yeah, I think we're okay. I think as long as we don't go to war with the Taurians, I think that would be a problem, because very likely the Drengin would then attack them, and then we've then got to beat them quick, and we're likely to be in conflict with the Drengin straight afterwards, because in order to end the war, you've got to take these worlds, and then your borders are pushing up against the borders of your opponent. So there, yeah. All right. keep exploring down this way. Got some Durantium and... yeah, some Durantium up here. That's a Mimot probe. We've got one of these colony ships. Now, we've got that planet over there, which we've said that we think is probably a little bit too risky to get. We've got this one here, Fomalhaut 1. It's quite far away from us, but it might be worth going for. We've got Fulu 2, which is an excellent planet. Again, this is on the other side of Drengian space and next to the Kryn. So, look, it's not impossible to do this. To take the, you know, like these, you have to put a lot of cultural base. You have to put a cultural base up for a start, and you got to push. You got to work hard with culture, and it's likely that the Drengian will declare war or the Kryn. We've got this one here, but we need extreme colonization for that one. Okay, we've got a load of colonies here. This would be good to get if we could. The problem is, again, it's going to put us between the Drengian and the Taurians. At the same time, we do not want to be artificially limiting our own growth by saying, well, you know, we're just going to stay to this area. I think that's kind of dangerous. By the way, now I think about it, I think egalitarianism is a good way to go for these guys. Those 3 colony ships is, you know, each one of those colony ships actually contains a citizen, right? And each one of those citizens is pretty helpful. Now, this one's got low social, so we want to probably send that to somewhere where... ah, look. Actually get a governor on Narita 3 here. Narita 2. Now, at the moment, it is just sending its resources over to Narita 3 as a colony, look. But this is a good planet. We probably want to put a leader on there too. Okay. Let's just see which system we've got here. Yeah, this one's got high expectations, low social. That doesn't want to be anywhere that's going to be close to our enemies. Let's have a quick look through, see what planets we've got. Okay, yeah, we've got Narita 1 here. Now that one requires exotic world colonization as well. Look at this. We've got 3 class 20 planets. That's 23, and then these 2 are 20. This is a really good system. Okay. Anyway, back to this one. So we've got colony ship number 4. This has got 12 expectations. Get this one out. Yeah, it looks like the Taurians are just a bit close to this one here. That said, it would feed into Honda 2. We want high social because that will help our cultural push. Let's just see what our other colony ships are like. We've got colony ship number 5. Okay, that's got lower expectations and high social. Colony ship number 6. Okay, that's got 5 social. Okay, this is a good one. Okay, they got low expectations. Like, so because we're drafting these, some of these were drafted. Or because we've got that, we did draft colonists. Look, we've got a bit of an approval penalty. We probably need to take off this without slumber pretty soon. Let's get this one out here. This is like really, we'd like to get this if we could. But I think this is going to be something we have to fight over. Yeah. Oh, decisions. This one looks relatively uncontested, although we don't really know what's over here. We probably could do with getting another probe out that way. Perhaps sending the Discovery up this way. Okay. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and take these 2. So that's got more planetary defenses. This one's got plus 50% food. Ah, that's pretty good. Doing alright for food for the time being, but we will need food eventually. Let's get this one going up this way. Let's get... okay, Colony 4 had the low expectations, if I remember right. The high expectations, sorry. Yeah, let's get this one here. We'll get this one out this way. Let's get these 2 here, and we'll put those onto... We'll have those feeding into Honda too. So we're going to kind of move up this way. We do need to explore in this direction now. How much would it be to get a probe out fast? Ah, actually, what we could do is... Okay, we've got 13 months until the telescope takeover, so that scuppers that plan I had. Get a probe out. Can we rush build it? Probably not. Also, yeah, so we're gonna get a probe out and see what's over this way. I think in the meantime, this colony ship that's got pollution. It's a nice planet though. Look, that will feed into Narita 2. Yeah, I'd like to go for this one. The thing, what I'm thinking is that that's going to put us into direct conflict between, you know, these two here, and we might lose it. So I think I'm going to play it safe. Now, really, you know, if I was being a proper battle mode, what I'd say is, right, I'm going to go straight for this, and then if we go to war, I'm just going to wipe them out. Okay, but I feel like I don't know this civilization very well yet. Okay, your ship has stumbled upon a cargo hold lost in the vastness of space. It contains an advanced survey module, possibly from an ancient civilization. This module could be used to give an existing ship the ability to investigate anomalies. Okay, this is a good one. This is really good. Alternatively, it can be broken down to valuable antimatter or sold for credits. 150 credits. No. We want this. Right, you don't get very many flagships. So what we can do now is, let's find... Where's our probe? You want to find ships, do it like this. So we probably want to... Yeah, we've got this one here. Okay, we're just looking at the dredging space here. What we could do is we could bring this one back and bring this use this module on this one here, or we could save it. The problem is I tend to forget about them. Ooh. A creature was forced out of another dimension and trapped in ours. We could release it, but it may go after us as well. Spawn a minor space monster. Now, if we really wanted to be, you know, evil, we could throw the space monster into dredging space here. Or we could do it to the Taurians. That might upset them. Let's do it. Let's get the space monster out in dredging space, see what happens. There we go, look. They'll probably kill it, but there you go. This is kind of fun. Alright. Okay, we've got the discovery here. Actually, the discovery's done now. Let's send this one out this way and see what we can find. It's leveled up. I'm going to give it another command bridge, I think. Or maybe the sensor range would be good better. Yeah, next turn that'll update. There we go, look, you saw it update there. Okay, great job. So we, I was going to say we kind of took an executive decision with regards to the egalitarianism choice, but I think that's probably a wise thing to do when you've not got that much population growing. 3 extra pops for a civilization that has slow population growth, you know, it's pretty important. Okay, we've got this constructor here. Let's get this guy. I'm going to turn this into a... Now, if we put this as a communications starbase, we will get a diplomatic penalty with these guys. That is the only problem. But I do think it might be worth doing this. Now, let's go for a mining base. Our miners have returned with rocky debris laced with a telltale flicker of silvery gold. Gerantium. More dense and resilient than anything we've seen before. A steady supply will surely lead to new breakthroughs in ship design. Okay. Okay, this is the civilizations with the most colonized worlds. Yeah, we're low on this list, look. Taurians are winning. Kryn are 3rd. Okay, and this is our first star base. Okay. Now, immediately, we do have some modules. And modules are required to upgrade your star bases. Look at that. Man, I love this stuff. It looks so cool. And, right, check this out. Every time that you upgrade your modules, look, and we're going to add... So we're actually mining 0.1 gerantium per turn, which means 10 turns and you'll get 1 gerantium, okay? Which is quite slow. We can double this by putting on a mining drone, but check this out. It actually changes the way it looks. Look, every time you put a new module on, as far as I remember, it adds something like, you know, graphic to this. It's a really beautiful looking game. Okay, so now we've gone up to 0.2 gerantium per turn, so 5 turns. And we can increase those later on. You know, we can get more modules. And we can get more technologies to to increase the types of modules that we can put on there. Molecular fabrication. More than just a way to boost manufacturing, it can be used to improve everything from more efficient weapons to more nutritious food. This is a new one, I think, and this is giving us a manufacturing bonus. Okay, what do we want next? We can upgrade manufacturing districts. We can get the defensive studies. Or we can get the subspace streaming. This one's slightly higher in the tech tree, if I remember right. It will be in colonization. Nope, engineering. Okay. Yeah, this is like a tier up. Yeah, this gives you more range for your ships. I don't feel we need that yet. Did we find where this slipstream was? No, we've not found one yet. Or substream place yet. So, no, we've not. Xeno-industrialization is going to take us down this way for the manufacturing stuff. Oh, we've already got space elevators, look. Because we traded that one. Decisions. Okay, hyperwave radio is only 2, look. This is going to allow us to upgrade entertainment. Right, this is going to give us more policies. This is a very, very good one to go for. So we're going to go for hyperwave radio. Alright, guys. I'm going to finish the episode very shortly. Let's just get this one exploring out this further. Okay, we've got a black hole here. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this give this probe the ancient survey module. There we go. And then I'm going to set this guy to survey, so he's going to come back and start surveying stuff. Okay, so it's going to increase the goodies essentially that we get from the probes. We've got our first freighter out. Excellent. Now, where do we send this? Now, when you think about this, right, the shipyard that you build it from, or the sponsoring planet, is, you need to look at the wealth output. Okay, so the higher the wealth output that you're getting is going to determine how much money you get from the trade route, and it's the same with that also. You need to factor in the wealth of the planet you're going to. I think we should probably send this one over here to the Mimart. It's our range. Okay, in that case, see, this is where the subspace, having extra range from this would be good. This would give us 4 range. I really want this hyperwave radio though. Mind you, this is cheap at this. Let's go for that then instead. We'll come back for hyperwave radio. What we'll do is we'll send this out towards the Mimot space. I believe that that extra 4 distance will enable us to get out there. I'm fairly sure that's how that works. Okay, Geode. Let's get another freighter. Yeah, I think I will. And we're going to start. We need to increase the amount of money that we're making. Our income's pretty low. All right, guys. Before I end the turn, I'm going to end the episode. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the series. I know it's a little slow. I think it's good to be able to kind of show some of the gameplay that GalCiv4 has that I think people who don't always play 4X games, or they play 4X games that are a little bit less three-dimensional than this one is. They kind of miss, like especially when it comes to sort of the geopolitical stuff. We're really going to get into that. I think that one of the best ways to enjoy this game is to play it thematically. Like, don't get me wrong, this is a min-maxing game if you want it to be, and particularly with things like this is like min-max's paradise, right? But if you are a hardcore min-maxer, and you focus heavily on that, it's one of those games where I think that you can really game the system to make it very, very easy for yourself if you do. Now, you can mitigate that by playing on a very high difficulty setting, so the AI gets big bonuses. That's one way of doing it, and some people don't mind that. The other way of mitigating, the difficulty is by playing thematically. So, for example, I'm doing it with the the cultural progression, right? So I'm not going to touch for example, I probably wouldn't touch nihilism, or that's not thematically indistinct from, that's not thematically opposed to what we're doing, but I think individualism would be, because we are supposed to be collectivists, right? So I think collectivism would probably be something that I would be happy. I think individualism, for example, would be one that I would kind of thematically keep away from. Another example would be that if you're playing the Taurians, you don't want to be friends with the Drengin, right? So if you kind of play thematically and kind of almost in like a sort of role-playing kind of way, GalCiv really opens up in a big way. You don't have to do that, and if you are a win-at-all-cost player, you know, there are ways of making the game difficult, like very difficult, if you want to do that. But I certainly recommend that you try and get into the headspace of Galactic Civilizations. They put a lot of effort into all these different, you know, all the different civilizations and their background stories. And we've got some background stories and stuff coming for the new ones, I believe. So, yeah, there's many ways to enjoy this game, but I think that if you really want to kind of get the most out of it, really get into the geopolitics of the game. This is what Galactic Civilizations is really good at, where I feel that other 4X games, particularly Space 4X games, tend to, you know, in other Space 4X games, diplomacy usually is just a way of trading, you know, trinkets with one another and resources and kind of getting them just not to attack you for a bit. Sure, you can kind of do that in this game as well, a little bit, but there is so much more, particularly with the way that the AI plays it, that you can get out of the diplomacy. So that's one thing you can look at. Alright guys, I'll catch you next time. Take care.